Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. It's been almost 1 week to the day, Thursday of last week. Hurricane Helene had landed in Florida, in the Bend of Florida, causing massive damage all up and down 75. But we have parts that they are devastated. I mean, it looks like a war zone, guys. Asheville, North Carolina, some outskirts, Burnsville, eastern Tennessee. Guys, I am not very tech savvy when it comes to a lot of these things. I honestly don't want to post pictures on our videos here because some of it looks downright scary. It does. You can see these all online. I'm sure many of you have. We have questions. It doesn't look like there's many answers. There are a lot of people stepping up to the plate, going out to find people that we're finding buried in the mud. They're finding people in mud, guys. The death toll is rising in North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. It seems like the flooding was more than people had anticipated. And at that, I don't know if there was even a choice. Maybe if there was a little bit more time to say, get out. But guys, this is like a storm that happened on, some people are calling it biblical levels here. I don't know about that. I don't know. I know that all of these people need to be in our thoughts and prayers. If you, there were people asking in the comments, where to donate and things like that. I would just look online for some of these. I know Channel 5 in Nashville is doing something. Asheville in North Carolina is doing something as well. However, I do recommend that you check these sites or make sure that you give to sites that you know, different companies that you know, because obviously there's a lot of scammers out here too. So you want to be careful with that. So I don't want to talk too much about these that I'm not sure about. I'll tell you what, guys, I don't really know how to even talk about what we're going to talk about next, but it's very disturbing. And I'm on my computer right now as we're talking about this. There was a lot of our viewers that wanted me to discuss this and my thoughts. Hell on earth, guys. I don't even know what to say. And for the thousands of people who were happy that me and Jessica jumped ahead of the storm and came home, I thank God that we did, because we would have been right in this path. And I feel so bad for all of the families. Asheville, North Carolina looks like a war zone. It looks bad. Bad. Bridges down, or the Highway 40, right? We travel 40 all the time, whether we're going to Florida or Smoky Mountains, that kind of, we're on 40, which it's pretty good ways east of that. But Little Pigeon River flooded in Tennessee as well, and from what I understand, has caused some devastation as well. And further out east in Tennessee, there's devastation right on the border between North Carolina. Where is FEMA? Where is the federal government? And there are lots of different sites that are asking the same question. That's not me here. Okay, I keep checking updates like, well, maybe they're helping a lot of people in Florida. Well, they have help. There's help there. There's help, and I mean, I know it's massive. But people have not had food, and there have been over the last couple days. I've been kind of following a couple sites, that people are getting food in there, and they're waiting to like fuel up helicopters to come in. Isn't that crazy? Because you can't get to some spots because the roads are wiped out. If you're watching this video and you are part of this, or your family is part of this, or you just want to have a moment of silence with me here for those people, let's go ahead and do so now, as it is absolutely devastating. Some of you have reached out to me whose families are in Asheville, and I am sorry that this has happened. And I just hope that the help gets there as soon as possible. I don't know what's taking so long. This is what FEMA is for. This is what the tax dollars pay FEMA for. This is what the federal government is supposed to do that they are not doing. But for those people who have lost their lives, and it seems to be growing, lots and lots of people still missing, and time is running out of that 96-hour window of when it becomes search and rescue and then turns to just recovery, and we don't want to get to that point. We're going to have a moment of silence right now as we think about what is going on. Okay. You know, whether you are a religious person or whether you just appreciate life or something, it has been a very hard road for a lot of people. We have thousands and thousands of people on our channel that are from Eastern Tennessee and North Carolina. And I know a lot of you have reached out to me to do a video on this. This is not easy, guys. This is not easy because I see things. I didn't want to talk anything negative other than where is the help? Because there are hundreds and hundreds of videos of people crying out for help and nobody's there. I don't know. You know, I've been praying for all the people, all of the families and friends that you have reached out to us. I'm sorry for everything that has happened, and it has been an absolute nightmare. I was going to go over a bunch of these different news articles, but, you know, with things constantly changing, most of you know that I don't like to go over too many things where we don't have all of the answers, right? And for example, one site says this many death tolls. I read somewhere where there's 130 deaths so far in North Carolina because of the storm, or Asheville, North Carolina. And then I read another article of 160. One said 130, one said 160, all within 5 minutes of each other. Now, I don't feel comfortable putting numbers out there like that. And I mean, if that's what it is, okay. But you're putting these numbers out here and you have families that are watching your news stations that are seeking names, right? You know, if you haven't had a talk with your family or someone in days, I have another question too. Where's the internet? Okay? Now, okay, you may not have Wi-Fi, but shouldn't the satellite still work to have a phone call? Correct me if I'm wrong, and I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but there's a lady who they say had multiple sclerosis and couldn't get out a daggone phone call. There are a few people who were out of their insulin, who couldn't get insulin, that thank goodness for this person, I won't mention his name, who is somebody who is getting people medicine and food. An American hero who is getting people their medicine and food, flying or doing whatever they have to get into the town. Where's the government? Where's FEMA? That's what they are here for. That E stands for emergency. Okay? Federal Emergency Management Agency, I think that's it. Again, anything I'm wrong in, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I just, part of the reason why I haven't done a video on this or talked about the news of this is because it's hard for me. It's hard for me because I know so many people are suffering right now. And we look at North Carolina and we look at Tennessee and what's going on. Well, Florida, Georgia were also devastated. They were. In a lot of different ways. Now, one could say they're more prepared. Well, Atlanta's not prepared for something like that. How often do you expect a hurricane to blast into Atlanta the way it did? With 6 million people in that city. Now, judging from, what we've seen, at least online, and I say judging from what we've seen, because a lot of this stuff, we're only seeing what people are posting, right? There was one thing I read where they knew somebody was alive from a camera at a gas station, that somebody was looking at a live feed camera from a gas station. You can do that, but you can't make a phone call? I don't know, guys. I, I don't want to go into... I just think that's pretty crazy. People who have cell phones that can't get a signal. You can't get a signal on your cell phone with satellite everywhere in the United States. We're not in international waters here, right? We don't have to pay $30 a day for international satellite, right? Because you got to pay for that. You pay for this in America. You pay for your satellite service. You pay for your phone service. Telling me people can't get out phone calls? Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I will keep my opinions to myself on that. It's not good though, guys. It's not good. And it's sad that here we are a week later, okay? A week later, and people are still suffering. They still don't have... A lot of people still don't have food. Now, there have been a lot of people search and rescue. You know, it was really bad there for a while. There was a story a couple days ago where an ambulance was on its way to get somebody and got trapped in water, and apparently was stuck there for like 12 hours. This Hurricane Helene wreaked havoc on the country. And I don't know, maybe there's other things that were going on. Maybe this was very unexpected. You know, when you see a highway get overtaken by water and all of a sudden half the highway is gone, that's tough. You're taking out a major vein that connects the country in Highway 40, especially between Tennessee and Asheville, North Carolina. Again, I know I said this before, but it's important. Check the sites that you know. If you know any places that are great to donate to in this cause, make sure you leave it down in the comments. Like I said, I don't want to put anything on here anymore of the best places to donate for these causes because, again, there are a lot of scams going around, and you want to be careful with those. Maybe check with your local authorities or local news stations. And you can check your local news stations' websites, and most of those, like Channel 5 here, in Nashville, they go on to discuss who you can donate to, and they're actually one of the ones that say watch out for the scammers. But that is News Channel 5 Nashville. That is one that a couple of our viewers had mentioned. They also, let's see, Channel 8 WVLT. They have the road closures. They talk about the road closures. They have like a map. East Tennessee flooding. After historic East Tennessee. It's all historic, guys. A lot of this has never happened in these areas. It was very unexpected. It's a shame. And, you know, now the numbers are being done of the possibilities. It looks like the worst hurricane you've ever seen in your life hitting the border of North Carolina and Tennessee. It looks bad. If you have not... I don't think you can turn on a TV without seeing photos, which also begs the question, with this much devastation, with this much going on, I mean, I know the storm hit a lot of areas, so I don't want to just say that, well, they're not paying attention to it or something like that. A lot of devastation has hit the country from Helene. So, you know, but we need to be prepared for this, guys. We need to be... I don't know how you prepare for this. I don't... From a single home, I don't know how you prepare for this. A kayak, an inflatable raft. And again, whoever thinks that that's going to happen, whoever thinks that the biggest storm of all time is about to hit a state where they don't get weather like this, right? I mean, if we'd have been low level here in Cincinnati, we would have had that too. We would have had the same thing happen. But here in Cincinnati, we are on top of the 7 hills. It's kind of like being on mountains. But I don't know, there's no rivers that blast through here either. It's not a low-lying town. We do have the Ohio River that goes through downtown Cincinnati, which I don't even think that has flooded as much rain as we had. We hadn't had a lot of rain in a long time, though. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. I think it is pretty close to flood stage, but I don't think it is actually flooded yet. The Ohio River, they've planned for a lot of these things over the years. The Ohio River does flood. I've seen Coney Island in Cincinnati completely underwater. We saw roller coasters completely underwater. So that does happen. And they constantly fix and plan and plan and plan, which now they're going to have to figure that out in these areas as well. Guys, this video is mostly just, me wanting to, share my thoughts and prayers with everyone involved. Again, donations. I know I keep mentioning that, but just if you want to donate, people have asked where to donate, and I would just look up the different sites in Asheville. Like I said, this one in Nashville seems legit for Tennessee, and then maybe look at some different areas. Maybe I would say government agencies in North Carolina, but I mean, it's just very strange that it doesn't look like the government has gotten involved at all in North Carolina. Where is the aid? Where is it? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Luckily, we have a lot of people who are on search and rescue missions in North Carolina, and it's sad that we're still talking about this a week later. A lot of devastation, though. A lot of bad things, guys. I mean, I saw some things. When you're seeing houses float down a street in rivers of water, that's bad. It's a nightmare. It's another reason why, even if I knew how to do all these photos and stuff, I wouldn't put them on this. We have, it's very easy to just look this stuff up. You can look up a lot of different photos. Look up North Carolina or East Tennessee devastation, Florida devastation from this hurricane, and you will find all kinds of different photos and videos. And I recommend, I don't know, some of them are pretty horrific and scary. And I would just, maybe more and more people need to watch these, though, to know, or maybe more and more people would, I don't even know where I'm going with it, guys. Like I said before, I don't even know how I'm going to discuss this today. I'm really, it's something that is just so terrible. And it's something, we always talk about planning and being prepared. It's something else we got to think about in the future. Like, I'm sure most people who are living in some of these areas, it might not be a bad idea to have a little boat. I know it sounds crazy. You shouldn't have to but I don't know. Where something has happened before, it's doomed to happen again, and we need to make sure we're prepared for these kind of things. Again, our thoughts and prayers to all of the families involved. We have had a few families that have been involved reach out to us. And again, our prayers are with you and your families. And, if you can donate to the cause to help get food, make sure that you're donating to the right place. That is all I say. That's all I'm going to say. And if you know these places, if you know the ones, please let people know down in the comments, but make sure, because I know people are going to leave it in the comments anyway, but make sure that even if people are leaving it down in the comments, make sure you check for yourself before you donate to that site. Okay. And we'll just have to, we just have to move forward from here, and hopefully the government gets things there eventually. I don't know what's going on with that. I've seen several different news articles. I mean, now the national media is getting involved in that. They're like, where's FEMA? Yeah, agreed. Where are they? Let me know down in the comments what you think about that, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Again, our thoughts and prayers with everyone involved. Have a good night.